Welcome, friends, to Messages of Love with Reverend Darrell, a place where we pause, breathe, and let God's love speak to us in a fresh way. I'm Reverend Darrell, and I'm grateful you're here with me today. Today I want to begin our journey with a message that sits at the very heart of this channel, the idea of acceptance. Not the kind of acceptance the world sometimes offers, the kind that depends on what you do or how well you perform, but the acceptance that comes straight from the heart of God. There's a verse that captures this beautifully, and it's one we mentioned in our welcome episode, Romans 15:7, which says, "Accept one another then, just as Christ accepted you, in order to bring praise to God." Now I want to sit with that for a moment, because if we're honest, acceptance is something we all long for. We want to be seen, we want to be known, we want to be welcomed, not for who we might become someday, but who we are right now. And that's exactly what Christ does. He meets us where we are. He welcomes us with open arms. That's powerful. And that's freeing. But Paul doesn't stop there. He turns this around and says, now go and do the same for others. That's where the challenge comes in, because accepting others, especially when they're different from us, or when they've hurt us, or when they don't fit neatly into our expectations, that takes grace. That takes patience, and that takes love. And yet, that's exactly what brings praise to God. Not just our songs, not just our prayers, but the way we treat one another. So today I want to explore 3 simple but meaningful ways we can live out this call to acceptance in our daily lives. First, see people through the eyes of God. When God looks at people, he looks thinking of the eyes of God. God doesn't see labels, he doesn't see categories, he doesn't see us and them. He sees children of God. He sees potential. He sees beloved souls. Imagine what would happen if we approach people the same way. Imagine how our relationships would shift. Imagine how our communities would heal. Acceptance begins with how we see. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is simply listen, not to fix, not to judge, not to respond, just to listen. When we listen with compassion, we communicate, you matter. Your story matters. Your feelings matter. And that alone can be a healing act. Christ welcomes us with grace. He welcomes us with patience. He welcomes us with joy. When we extend that same welcome to others, even in small ways, we reflect his heart. A smile, a kind word, a moment of understanding, a willingness to forgive. These are simple acts, but they carry the weight of heaven. As we begin this journey together, I want you to remember something. You are accepted, not because you've earned it, not because you've achieved something, not because of the place you were born, not because of the color of your skin, but because Christ loves you fully and completely. And as you go through your week, I encourage for you to look at one opportunity, just one, to extend that same acceptance to someone else. It might be a family member, a coworker, a neighbor, even a stranger. Let God's love flow through you in a way that brings praise to him. Thank you for joining me today on Messages of Love with Reverend Darrell. And remember, you are loved, you are accepted, and you are never walking this path alone. Until next time, may God's love surround you, uplift you, and guide your every step.